On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at the Justice League Unlimited 3-pack fan collection consisting of Fire, Ice, and Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. Now, this is a fan collection. The funny, interesting story about this is, despite the fact that it is a fan collection piece, where you would think that these figures have not been released before, they actually have been released before. And I'll get into that just in a second. The back of the package, the figures in the waves are the Green Lantern, Captain Atom, Supergirl. We got Wonder Woman, Flash, and Question. We've got Gladia, Huntress, and Superman. And finally, of course, Green Lantern, Fire, and Ice. The read-up says, possessing the powers of heat and cold, Fire and Ice have joined the JLU on many missions, including taking on the secret society at Black Hawk Island and facing down an army of parademons from Apocalypse. Now, speaking of the fact that it's a fan collection and these figures have never been released before, they actually have been released before. And I'll just move these figures aside here. I'll bring in the, I think to be the last line, the last release wave of figures before they actually switched over to the fan collection. As you'll see, they are the exact same figures, and so much so that it is actually still Jon Stewart that comes with the two exclusive figures. Now, just to do a quick comparison here, and I don't know if you guys are going to see very well, the Jon Stewart looks like it's been slightly improved in the newer version, right down to the fact that they've actually they've indented the Green Arrow or Green Lantern logo on his chest, versus the original Green Lantern actually was just silver paint. It was just a painted on symbol, and some people actually prefer that over the other. The biggest difference being that the Green Lantern that came with the original pack was the additional articulated elbow and knee version of Green Lantern, and the newer version is the basic 5-point articulated version of Green Lantern. That also aside, and this is actually funny, this is probably the first time doing these reviews of the Justice League Unlimited figures that I'm probably going to open up the original figures versus the re-released figures. The reason for it, you guys can see here, if you compare, let's say for example, let's compare Ice, or actually no, let's compare Fire here. Fire actually is a nice looking figure, very attractive, looks a lot like Fire from the cartoon, paint's pretty clean, I'd say so. Now, if you look at Fire from the new release figures, and get the light here going. If you look at the Fire from the new released figures, ugh, what a sore for sight eyes. Turn on cold shower. This figure is terribly painted. It just looks like they've splotched paint all over her face. As well, if you look at Ice here, very sloppy in the face. Very, very sloppy. But if I pan up here, I'm not getting this all on camera, I know, but if I pan up here, Ice actually looks really nice in figure form. So for that reason, I probably will not open up this set. But instead what I'll do, for the first time, like I said, as far as I can remember, this is the first time that I'm probably going to want to open the original dated packaging, just for how nice the figures look, versus opening up the new figures. So, even though I started the review on this pack here, the fan collection, I am going to actually open up the original pack. So what we'll do is we'll open up the figure pack consisting of Fire, Ice, and Green Lantern, and what we'll do is we'll have a better look at the figures. So stay tuned, guys. And now that they're out of the package, let's get a better look at the figures. I'll try to do a better view of the comparisons just so you guys can see it. First thing, we'll look at Jon Stewart here. There's nothing new with this figure. In fact, if you've owned this figure with the additional articulation in the elbows and knees, you are absolutely missing nothing by passing on this figure here. And of course, very broad. The arms are very silly just for how large they are. The more and more I look at these figures, the more I'm glad that they swapped back and went back to the original single articulated figure. And actually, I'll bring in a single articulated, or not single, 5-point articulated Jon Stewart, just so you guys can see a comparison between the two. It's a little more streamlined. He certainly fits in a little bit better with the two ladies here instead of old Chunky and Clunky here. Now, even though this Jon Stewart, I believe actually came with, I think this was the one that came with the Captain Atom. I just figured I'd show you guys a comparison just to give you guys, I mean the heads are pretty much the same, give or take. So we'll move him out of the side. Not really much to say about Jon Stewart, so I'm just going to put him aside. Certainly knows you guys probably have seen him enough. And we'll have a look first at Fire. And Fire, one of the few characters I can think of that has fire in their name or anything relative to fire, and she's actually not red or yellow in color. And in fact, when she turns into fire or whatever her ability is, she's actually green. She's all green, which I think is different and interesting. She's also got a very sexy accent in the cartoon, which I think is cool. I got it for women with accents. Big turn on for me. Standard body. Standard looks like a Wonder Woman body or Huntress. And obviously they just painted on some of the features here on Fire. A belt and her tube top. Is that a tube top? I think it's a tube top. The face is really nice on her. I don't know how well, I never seem to get the angle right sometimes on these, but if I show you just the comparison here, try to give you guys a better view. You know what? We'll bring the camera up here. There we go. That's what we wanted. Can you see the difference? A lot nicer, if you ask me. This fire is definitely a step up from this eyesore that is the later released Fire. It's like night and day. It's like night and day. Now her articulation, she has the articulated arms, standard arms. I'll take her off the display stand. They actually come with 2 display stands, which is neat. Standard articulation in the legs. Not a lot. You can move her head slightly, but not really a lot though. But there you have Fire. This Fire I'm actually going to give a 7 to. She's probably one of the nicest looking female Justice League members in a toy form. She is sexy. She is nice. Nice. And let's have a look at Ice. Ice, baby. Again, really nice on the paint. She's a little sloppier, unfortunately, between the white and the blue. A lot more of this just paint going over the lines and a bit sloppy at times, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. And as you can see, she uses the exact same body as Fire. Open hand and everything. Obviously a different head. Try to do this again. Bring in. Give you guys a comparison between the two. Nice. And then this one looks like, oh, I don't know. She just looks pasty. Is that a mean thing to say? She looks pasty? I don't know. She's just, I much prefer, again, the original version of Ice to this mess. So there you go. Move that back out of the way. Overall, it's a decent set. Certainly Fire and Ice. Probably you won't see these figures released very often, aside from the fan collection here. But if you have the opportunity and you want to get these figures, do yourselves a favor, get the originals. Get the originals. Don't go with those other ones. Those other ones are bad. They're very bad. Fire here, what did I say? I was going to give her a 7 or so. Ice, not as nice of a figure. I'm going to give her a 5. But a great set nonetheless. Yes, you'll probably get yourselves another Green Lantern, but it's only one figure at least. But that was a toy spot. Today, we're looking at the lovely ladies. We're looking at Fire. We're looking at Ice. Oh, and there's also Jon Stewart, but who cares? So hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. There's many more toy spots to come, and I'll see you guys next time.